Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally Tech Day in Marvel Contest of Champions, which means it is time for a proper Redskull rank up and gameplay video. So we're going to take this dude up to 330, and then we are on a mission today. We're going to go into the final quest of Act 4 and try and defeat Maestro with Redskull, and just have a little bit of fun with this character today. You know, we did a bit of an initial impressions Redskull video just based off the 110 gameplay and some of the stuff that I saw on YouTube, but since then, it's been so dead. There's been like no Redskull stuff at all. So if you got Redskull, let me know your thoughts on him on the comments below. If you found any cool uses for the character, that'd be very much appreciated as well. Because yeah, I'm dying to see a little bit more Redskull gameplay so we can get a bit more of a handle on this character. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and smash that rank up button. And the reason that he's already at rank 2 is I actually started this rank up video, right? I smashed the first rank up and did all the intro and stuff, and then I realized I didn't have enough tier 3 basic in order to take him up to rank 3, man. So I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to stop the video, smashed out the daily quest, and here we are. So we've got him up to rank 330 now, and at this level, his attack is, his health is just over 7,500, and attack we have 718. Let's have a look at and see if those attributes have gone up much. So the crit, crit damage rating and block proficiency are pretty much the same, but that block proficiency is very, very nice. I think that's kind of the biggest pro of the character is his block prof, man. It's looking very, very tasty. And then in terms of the synergies, we have the well-timed block with Captain America, gives Captain America Fury, but Redskull, he gains a plus 10% chance to perfect block for each buff on Redskull. So you pretty much have perfect parries guaranteed on Redskull there. And also we have the one with Punisher, which intercepts heal block the opponent for 7.5 seconds on Redskull. And in terms of Redskull's abilities, just to quickly recap them, so for each debuff on the opponent, their power rate is reduced by 10%, and the debuffs are mainly applied via the special 2, but also this is a slight reduction on the parries as well. Redskull also via this first line has greatly increased ability accuracy, so his ability accuracy cannot be reduced, so I think there is a bit in terms of what Redskull's abilities that can do that I believe somewhat counter Infinity War Iron Man and also Domino to a certain extent. I mean, the fact that he pretty much does nothing on every hit is a fantastic counter to Domino, but also if his ability accuracy reduction is greatly increased or has substantially more ability accuracy, I don't know, it might be a bit of an interesting Domino match if you can get past the seemingly wet noodle damage. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move a little bit deeper. At the start of the fight, we're going to gain 5 armor up buffs. And when filling a bar of power, we also gain an armor up buff as well. Blocking a basic attack, we consume 1 armor up buff generated by Redskull to power drain 10% of the opponent's max power and inflict damage on the opponent for each buff on Redskull. So when you have 10 armor buffs, this is at its max, and you can also gain armor buffs via power draining on the special 3. Heavy attacks, if the opponent is stunned, will heal block them for 7.5 seconds, so this is going to be potentially a little bit useful for the Iron Man on the Maestro path in the middle. Special 1, we can refresh shocks and also stun the opponent for 2 seconds, but also this being a guaranteed stun, whenever you have like increased power gain or power reserve, is essentially means that Redskull is another character that can infinitely stun the opponent. However, in terms of infinite stun characters, like, you know, Ronan is the best when it comes to buffs, but in terms of the power gain and power reserve, like Stark Spidey dealing more damage is just going to be the better option if you have him. And then on the special attack too, each hit shocks the opponent, dealing energy damage based on the amount of buffs that you have. It increases the duration, and the shock debuffs stack up to 5 times, and you can refresh them by the special 1. Just one special 2 gets you the shock debuffs, but at least when we were testing them out initially, they weren't really doing too much. And then finally on the special 3, we have a full power drain. So yeah, it's just a quick recap of his abilities, because I'm absolutely desperate to get into a little bit of Act 4 gameplay, and just see if we can have a bit of a fun time playing around with Redskull today, and hopefully it's not going to be too bad. So we're going to go for the full. Do you know what? We don't really need the Captain America synergy. I think because his block proficiency is so high, and it's only like counting off parries, let's just go for a little bit more damage. Let's get a bit of Storm in the mix as well. It's going to buff up his crit damage rating a little bit more. So yeah, we'll take that, and this should be should be a little bit more of a fun way to play Redskull today. But anyway, let's move on to the first fight. So the first fight is Hulk, and we have a lot of increased physical resistance here, so this might give us a good opportunity to get to the special too. But yeah, those light attacks are going to be hitting for absolutely nothing on this fight. But let's see this rank 3 damage. See if we can get some maybe 1k mediums. We throwing those out. Okay, so the medium is 724, because I believe when it comes to what is it, characters crits, they fully bypass all the physical resistance. That's why there's such a difference in terms of the damage there. Yeah, and the special 2, it seems to have, I had this as well on the rank up and gameplay one, and also during my testing. There seem to be scenarios where the special 2 just doesn't connect, which is just a bit of an annoyance there. Right, let's throw in a cheeky little 5 combo. Let's see if we can get the next special 2 to connect. That will be a pretty fab time. Just going to turn the volume down quite quick. Okay, so we got that one to connect, so that's an alright time there. You can see just on the average fight like this, you know, when you only have a few stacks of armor, like, you're just not going to get that extended shock duration. So it'd be nice if the shock was a little bit longer on the special 2, just for kind of the average fight to make him a little bit more enjoyable to play. But maybe next fight we'll go for a tactic where we try and get like 10 stacks of armor up, if the opponent survives that long. But that's still like getting to a special 3 and special 2. So yeah, I don't know. I think the opponent should be dead by then. But we do have quite a nice little Adaptoid class advantage fight here. And one thing, again, that I will say I absolutely love is Redskull's animations, man. They look so cool. I really like his block animation as well, with the energy cube, or... So I thought it was the Tesseract. Somebody was saying the energy cube. I'm not really entirely sure of the difference, if I'm perfectly honest. But I do need to do my homework on that one. Right, special 2. And there we go. The Symbioid is down. Bit of a smoother fight there, but we did have the class advantage to, you know, acting in our favor there for sure. Let's move on to, what is it, Captain America Classic. I think for just standard fights and questing, you know, if you are... I'm just thinking, like, a few months in the future, if you do get Redskull, I still think he's going to be better than probably about 40% of characters in the game. Because, like, you know, looking at Redskull versus, like, Captain America, like this classic one in terms of, like, which one I'd rather pull, still be Redskull, because Redskull also has, you know, the additional power drain and heal block utility as well, and very, very nice block proficiency going on. So there are certainly a few perks to the character. I think, just comparatively speaking, like, we've just had so many, like, absolutely ridiculous characters this year, that the expectations for new ones, at least for myself, always quite in a high zone at the moment. But you know, I'm certainly not against if they want to beef up Redskull a little bit more. That would be very much appreciated. But I also am very interested to see what the character's like once you get the Awakened ability unlocked, because you can charge heavy infinitely and gain power. And also, yeah, if you let go of the heavy at the right time, and I believe you'll need to learn how to do this to play him really well, then it's also going to shock the opponent for the equivalent of 200% of his damage. But I'm not too sure there's going to be like an efficient damage dealing tactic with that method of play. But that might be an interesting way to play the character to get around, I don't know, certain damage back stuff. Maybe when Korg comes into play, that's going to be a good method for fighting him. So yeah, a little bit of a maybe alternative Quake with a little bit of power control thrown in the mix via the special 3. Just trying to find any sort of silver lining that we can, really. Okay, let's wait for this limbo. Gonna bait out special 1. And let's throw... Yeah, it's really annoying, man, that special 2. I'm pretty sure it's not me. I'm pretty sure that special 2 is just very annoying to connect. Because, it just doesn't seem to want to connect on the standard 5 combo. So let's try throwing some 4 combos and see if we can get a little bit more consistency on that special 2. But, yeah, I think, you know, in terms of, like, what we were talking about in the initial Redskull video, in terms of this character being a wet noodle, like, as much as I do enjoy the animations and he's got some good utility in comparison to some of the absolutely ridiculous characters we've had, in terms of, like, Ghost and Domino, he's not quite up there, man. Not quite up there. But it doesn't mean he still can't have some very odd uses in the game. But I don't know, I think, you know, I'm not denying the character has utility. I think the thing for me is just I don't really see any matchup or scenario where Redskull is just going to be like one of the best options at the moment. But I don't know, maybe there something might pop up in the future. And I also want to try him against the Domino and Uncollected as well. I think that could be an interesting fight. Actually, with Buffett, like there's a very small chance he'll be able to outdamage that unless we can get some good intercepts going on. Yeah, it's just the special 2's broken as well, 100% on that 5 combo, man, because we've thrown them perfectly, but it just seems to be a little bit too slow there, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. So I wanted to try a 4 combo there, but it was just lining up so perfectly. But I know now for sure that if we don't throw it at the right time, it is just not going to happen. Okay, let's go for that Symbioid. And I also think just for like the what is it? A lot of fights and a lot of matchups, it's usually quite beneficial when you are playing in the end game to actually get the opponent to a special 2, or sorry, any sort of special that you can easily evade. So I'm not really too sure how useful this kind of very small like power drain on most of your parries is. Okay, so we did a 4-hit combo. It managed to connect and chain on there, which is a nice time. But unfortunately, there is no way we are going to get in and refresh those shocks. However, if we did, intercept a little bit better, we could have a little bit more shock damage there. We might try a couple of duels toward the end of this video as well. See how this free 30 Redskull gets on with the likes of maybe a pretty stacked up Magik. But I think that's also one of the additional downsides of Redskull against Mystic characters specifically, is that the armor isn't, unlike Infinity War, they did a perfect job with Infinity War Iron Man, because they made all his armor up buffs passive, so playing the character against Mystic characters, you're not suffering from like a Mystic Dispersion Fiesta. However, Redskull versus Mystics, you are, every time an armor is consumed, you know, you're going to drain 10% power, but if they've got maxed out Mystic Dispersion, then they're still going to net like 2% power there, so it's not really any power drain. You know, it's just giving your opponent 2% power on every single parry, which doesn't seem, you know, it doesn't seem like a counter. Let's put it that way. But anyway, let's smash in a full energy refill and try and go for this Iron Man. So we need to, on a parry stun or a special 1 stun, we need to use a heavy attack to get the heal block here. Well, actually, we could do it. Does he immediately start off with Arc Overload? He might do. Okay, there we go. Throw down that heavy. Not too shabby at all. So yeah, he's a nice little heal block champion, and certainly there are many points where brand new players are coming up through the game where they need a heal block like that, man. Just one they can chuck down, and it just works. Oh no, did I not connect that one right either? I swear I got it on the medium. Maybe I suck. Right, let's go. Heavy attack again. Let's deny that. Try and get a cheeky little intercept there. And this time, let's see if we can connect that special 2. But man, oh man, am I having problems with the special 2 timing. There we go. Got it that time. Success, ladies and gentlemen. It comes eventually. But yeah, when you have no stacks of armor, it's just not very exciting there. Right, now we can fire off a heavy attack. We'll use this. Probably need to get... Oh, no. Yeah, not not a terrible fight, but I definitely felt the noodle damage a little bit. And so when it comes to those longer matchups, man, that's when the noodles start to come out. But anyway, let's move on to this Adaptwood and then Maestro. Now, one of the good things, one of the things that I always say, if people ask me for advice on fighting Maestro for the very first time in Act 4, is bring a power control or a stun champion. Because on Maestro, you essentially just want to get him past his special one as much as possible, because that is a massive pain in the ass to deal with. And my evades on it actually aren't too sharp today, so yeah, hopefully we can play well with parries and also the special one stun, so that we don't need to worry about too many of those. And there we go, punch into that symbiote, cracked down, lads, cracked down. But anyway, now is the moment of truth. It is time to get nuking on this Maestro and see if we can win this matchup without dying. Please, I hope that my playing skills are up there today with the Dank Lords of Marvel Contest of Champions. I'm indeed summoning the power of Atromination as we speak. So let's see what we can do here. Oh no, that block was a little bit potentially detrimental there. Okay, let's do double medium. Whew, a little bit too close for comfort there. Whew. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that one. I felt like I really need to focus on that fight, just not to make a fool of myself. 127 hits to deal with 50,000. He's definitely a little bit lacking on the damage, for sure, but he's a fun character to play. He's got a bit of utility. Is he as good as a lot of the recent characters? Definitely not, in my opinion. But yeah, he's alright. He's got some block proficiency, got a heal block, got a nice stun. He's got a few little things he can do. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on Redskull? Is he a champion you're liking, a champion that you're hating? Like, I like Redskull. I kind of just wish he was a little bit better. I wish he kind of had like another round of tuning, that they look into the character, because I feel like there's just been such a high bar set by a lot of the characters recently. I just don't feel like he lives up to that bar in terms of kind of, you know, what he's bringing to the table. But yeah, overall, he might make for a bit of an interesting Alliance War Defender. I've heard some people saying about that, but I think his heavy is really, really easy to bait out. The special one, just avoiding that over and over again. Even on like unstunnable nodes, I don't think it's going to make him too much of a pain in the ass, but let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on Redskull? Apart from that, feel free to smash that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.